Hi there. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the first blog post reading that I'm going to be doing. I have created playlists for readings from both of the books, things I would have told my children if I had them, An Adult's Guide to Living in Connection, and Yeshua. 2000 years have passed, the poems of becoming again, and now my blog, which you can find on my website. The address is listed here at www.cheriseadjodha.life. I've decided to create a playlist for that as well and read to those of you who are interested but don't have the time to read. This blog post is called Blurring the Lines. How many yous will you be today? And it was written on the 15th of December, 2023. We know that everything is connected, everything. Still, we are forced to believe that parallels can exist, that we can be separate. I remember in secondary school being confronted by the linear world through math and science in a way that left me yearning to see life in straight lines because I just couldn't understand. I couldn't see it the right way. I was inadequate and stupid. The easiest parts for me, I noticed, what I could understand, always involved dimension. That came with geometry. And whilst I still wasn't the best at it, I remember loving drawing figures, lines and arcs and circles and dots and space all coming together. The movement of my pencil on the page, the feel of the ruler, makes sense that something used to draw lines would be a ruler, a compass in my hands, the smell of the lead from my pencil, the rubber of my eraser. Now I understand that I needed to see the movement in the ideas I was being taught. I also needed to see the whole picture. I could never understand isolated concepts. I needed to know how it all fit together before I could understand the pieces, how it was all connected. I also needed to be a part of creating that meaning. That's why drawing an image made so much difference to me. I envied the children who could just take in information and not ask what it meant. They seemed to see so clearly a world that was completely invisible to me. Something about a linear world always felt off to me. Do you remember learning numbers on a number line? I would come out of class, and as I was walking, I would imagine a single line in a dark void, just going on and on for miles, an infinite single line. You could add another one above or below, and another one, and yet another one, like the lines on the page of an exercise book. They would never touch. Like when we had morning assembly and we would all line up, you weren't allowed to speak to the person beside you, in front of you, or behind you, or you would be in trouble. Principal's office for you, or worse. You would get a good lash with the belt our principal carried around. She was a bright woman, but a stern nun. Her belt was named Tickler, after one in some classic story, but I never knew the details of that. I was used to teachers naming the things they beat me with. I had several encounters with Big Ben in primary school that haunt me still. So, you wouldn't want to be tickled. Sometimes Tickler would sneak up on you, stinging your legs as you walked too slowly back to class after lunch. Lines were always the way we were ordered, and in that order, there was no communication. Lines always came with rules, and there was always a ruler to enforce them. No questions, no suggestions, no speaking unless told to speak, no laughter. In those lines, a sneeze or a cough was barely permissible. The only words allowed then were sorry or excuse me, and you had to say them immediately. A swift and unwavering act of subordination was the only chance at survival. In that line, not a hair could be out of place. You were assessed on how ordered your appearance was, how white your shoes. We would pass around whitening polish before assembly. How tightly pulled back was your hair. No flying plaits or strands to make you unruly, uncivilized. There were advantages in the number line as a teaching tool, of course. For me, I understood that a line was made up of a series of dots or points and that each one was significant. I learned that it took a community to make each line. Each number in a number line, each dot was characterized by the dot before or after it. 4 was 4 because of 3 and 5, yes? Without 3 and 5, 4 has no meaning and no purpose. It actually wouldn't exist without its relationship, its connection to those other numbers beside it. After assembly, once we weren't being watched and once we didn't have to line up, each of us little dots would just spread out to meet each other, little particles dispersing seemingly without purpose. But we had purpose. We were going somewhere, maybe to talk to someone, to play, maybe to go to a classroom, to the bathroom, maybe just being out in the open, hoping someone would come to us. We would want to know we existed. We would have to experience ourselves in motion, in communion with our environment and all the beings and elements in it. It would look like chaos to someone who didn't know what connected each of us little dots. But meaning and purpose and a desire for communion, as invisible as they were, held us suspended and in motion. There was order in the absence of those lines, order through meaning and purpose and communion with. The lines are always make believe. At best, they can help us to contain something we are trying to understand, control, or limit, but they are never truly solid and unwavering. Where do I fit in now? What am I in relationship with to that gives me meaning? Who am I today? Who will I be as I move through my moments and see all those other little dots around me? Which ones will I connect with? What meaning will we realize together? In my applied positive psychology training course, we were challenged to smile at everyone within 6 feet and to say hello to everyone within 3 feet of us. Imagine we can be so close passing each other in our day to day and still experience our comings and goings as little dots in straight lines that don't connect. I remember learning about pointillist art and enjoying making entire landscapes from a whole bunch of little dots. Imagine those dots alive and not fixed on a page. They could move around each other and reshape the landscape, changing colors and features, literally becoming something new themselves. A green dot in a green leaf is part of the leaf, and then a green dot in a puddle can be some algae coming to life. The thing about it is the closer you get, the more blurred and chaotic it seemed. After a while, you don't see the dots. Then the further away, you don't see the dots either, but one story, one scenery with separate parts coming together to make it into what lines will I blur by stepping outside of myself today? How will I change my meaning and purpose in the landscape I inhabit in each moment? How will I change that landscape through the place I choose to occupy within it? What world will I create for myself and those around me? Will it be pretty, full of light, a drama, an exciting adrenaline pumping experience, a tender, soft, gently flowing scenery, a romance? Can I be in love the whole day as if we finally found each other and can't wait to see each other again? All tingly in my belly, sporting a goofy grin. How closely will I dig in until I can't see any distinctions between myself and anything around me? Or how far back will I step away and observe the separate parts of the world before me coming together? How will I choose to know myself today? Who will I be today? How many times will I create myself anew? What landscape will I reshape? And will it be full of laughter, connection, love? Who will you be today? How many times will you create yourself anew? What landscape will you reshape? And will it be full of laughter, connection, and love? Thank you all for listening. Definitely subscribe to my blog and you can read and know when I post something new. Check out my books on Amazon and like and subscribe to my channel. Take care.